Well, time to do it. Chris! Let's just go ahead and kill the music. Why not? Chris! Howdy, sir. How are you today, by the way? We'll just say, welcome. And of course, as always, howdy, y'all. It'll be there here in a second. Give it a second. Hey, there it is. Well, that's very good. I hear that you are a farmer now. Is the lavender blooming yet? I know, it's too late in the season to actually do lavender right now. You'd end up in a snowbank by the next week. It being Canada up there and all. Huva ilta, Boris. The only person with more snow potential than Chris. Gonna plant in spring. I've got 2 pictures to show you. That is Trump. There he is. My cat with the lion cut. Oh, he looks pitiful, and he's really pissed at me. But Chris says his cats love it, so fuck it, let's do this. And the other one is, I need somebody to put this picture on a milk carton, because I am not sure about the existence of this guy. I'm wondering if maybe he's lost. It's just, wow, you know, like mad scientist type things going on there. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Oh, Chris, did you just notice I shaved? Yeah, everybody's been going on about it for about 2 days now. And you saw the hair? Yeah, that's why I wear the hat. It's not because this stuff's thinning. It's not thinning all that much. It's thinning a little bit. We can be honest. But it's still a lot thicker than a lot of guys my age. So I'm pretty good with that. You're gonna say something when you came in? Well, too late. I stole it. I took it away from you. I made it so it's not possible. Y'all can make all the jokes you want to. Nobody can make the jokes better than I can. I'm fairly certain that that other guy I showed you the picture of. Here, I'll show it to you again. Let's see here. We'll pop that sucker right up there. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah. It's... I could do the whole show like this for those people that just can't handle me without the beard. What do you think? We could do this. It's possible. Of course, then you miss this beautiful Briar Blues hat. Steph, I'm not getting rain as of yet. So for everybody who's thinking that the beard is gone, it's gone forever. No, I can bring it back. I can do the whole show and make you believe that I'm staring at you. And somehow I am the world's greatest the guy who works with puppets. Trandiloquist? Screw it. The word's gone. It's in there somewhere, but it's a little warm out here and the brains might not actually be functioning. Ventriloquist, yes. I knew it was something like that. Jeff Dunham. Jeffafa. Dunham. He'd probably get on to me if he saw me saying I was a ventriloquist. I don't think I can do it as well as he can. There's just no way that I'm going to do it as well as Jeff Dunham. Mostly because I don't have a stupid puppet to flap my gums with. And I can barely move my mouth, but I'm still having to do it. And if you watch closely, you can see it happening. Just say it. But if I put that picture back up, let's see, let's do that again. Let's do it again. Hey, look, now I can be a ventriloquist. That's right. JeffaFaDunham.com. I'm probably going to get a copyright strike from a different Texan just because I did that. Of course, he did the exact opposite of me. I'm actually a Californian that moved to Texas as my first earliest convenience. And he is a Texan that is now living in California. I think the money went to him. It's alright, he's funny, so whatever. But yes, if you've seen that guy, make sure that you report him to the police or whatever. He is presumed armed and dangerous. Well, Chris, I figure it has to do with the amount of money he can make in California compared to the amount of money he can make living in Lubbock or Amarillo. I forgot which one it is that he's from. It was either Lubbock or Amarillo. If it was Lubbock 20 years ago, it was tumbleweeds. Seriously. Horribly tumbleweeds. Maybe even a little bit longer than 20 years ago. I gotta remember, shit. It's coming up on 30 years since I graduated high school. In the space of that same 30 years, I have somehow seen cameras become phones, phones become cameras, the Walkman reduced to something about this size being a stronger computer than what actually put people on the moon. 30 years is a lot of stuff that's happened in my lifetime. I'm not sure about yours, but it's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff has happened. Well, look, Chris, I'm agreeing with you. You know it is bad in California when even the Raiders say, fuck it, we're out. Las Vegas Raiders, baby. Those of you who want to complain about such statements, well, go ahead and complain. Go ahead. Go ahead. Complain all you want. Won't do you any good. So, Chris, is there any crops that grow across the winter in Canada? I mean, there's certain things that will actually grow under the snow, I've heard, but I'm not sure that I know of anything. I just figured maybe it'd be something to plant in the extreme off season. Chris, the curiosity is, name a team, any team, that has won the Super Bowl from 2 different cities. The list is very short, all one of it, and they're going to make it a chance at winning it from 3. So there we go. Well, there's an idea, Chris. You can set up a distillery and you can do rye during the spring and summer while your crops are growing for tomatoes and lavender. Steph, what are you stressing about? Oh my God. Do tell. She's stressing because it's the first time she's seen Skip since she ran to Dallas to go spend a little bit of time with him. Chris, you got to remember, Crown Royal is as close to bourbon as you can get and not call it bourbon. Because it's made outside the United States, it's never going to be called bourbon. But you can make rye anywhere. As far as I know, there's nobody making any kind of problems about rye whiskey. Other than there's not enough good ones out there and not enough people are drinking it because of that. Steph, now, you know, just saying, you know that Skip is a damn good driver, so don't worry about it. Ganji, howdy, sir. It is a blended whiskey. That is correct. Most bourbons are technically a blended bourbon, unless it says it is straight barrel strength or barrel proof or single barrel proof. It is a blend of various barrels to acquire an exact flavor. So at best, most bourbons, not all, but most bourbons are a blended whiskey. They just have the advantage of being produced inside the United States and by a certain set recipe that has to be approved by the bourbon. Well, there's like a board, the bourbon board. That's not exactly what they're called, but let's just go with that for right now. The exact name of that group has skipped my mind, and I apologize about that. But so the bourbon board has to approve that this is a unique recipe, A, and this is your product, B, and this is your whole distilling method, C, and you are producing it inside the United States. That is D. That's the 4 major things. And then you have to age it in only white oak or you have to age it in oak casks that are charred, but you're not allowed to filter it in any way through any kind of media or anything to change the color. Making sure that Jack Daniel's is never going to be called bourbon because they filter it through a bed of charcoal. You can believe that or not. I don't really care. It does not matter to me one iota. But Crown Royal does everything that all the bourbon producers in the United States do, except for they are over a certain northern latitude, and so therefore they will never be a bourbon. It's damn good whiskey. It's as close to bourbon as it can possibly be. All right, Chris, you take care. We will definitely see you again. Well, Ganji, it's more like Dorian Gray. But just for you, just because I know that you are feeling left out, I will do my ventriloquist bit. Are we feeling better now? Plus, it allows me to smoke more pipe. Look at there. You can see the smoke coming out of my ears. It's like my brains are on fire. I try to put on an entertaining show. Sorry, Ganji. Yeah. Some people like to also read lips. I figure if the dogs over here are going to make more noise than I am, I can just mouth words. Also a Jeff Dunham bit. I thought it was funny. Hell, I'll use it. Be a whole lot more funny if there was a guy over here on the side that was having to do sign language. He's just sitting there. I'm mouthing all kind of words. He doesn't know to sign any of them. Awesome. Well, that sucks, Steph. We'll get you one of those old wash tubs and the corrugated metal washboard. What do you think? Ooh, Jose Gulf Piper. My absolute favorite bourbon happens to be Wild Turkey Rare Breed. It just happens to be that happens to be my personal favorite. I actually got to do the Wild Turkey Distillery tour with Mr. Jimmy Russell. It was awesome. I was 30 years old, so that was, oh God, 17 years ago now. I took home a bottle of Wild Turkey Rare Breed from the distillery, signed by Mr. Russell. And I shared it with my son on his 21st birthday. First time it got opened. That was 11 more years I held on to it. I should have went ahead and drank it. It didn't do anything to improve or make better the bourbon. Uh, and it did smooth it a little bit, but not all that much. Now, there's a lot of people out there that will say, and Odie, WKR Piper, is one of them. He loves to hunt down those ultra, can't find them anywhere bourbons and whiskeys and stuff like that. I do not agree with these guys that say, oh my God, the price tag on this bottle makes sure that this is so much better. It's just not true. Steve, howdy, sir, and Miss Kathy, if you are there. If not, Steve, relay lots of hugs to Miss Kathy from all of us here at the YTPC. No, Steve, it was not the cat. The cat got a shave. Yes, that is Trump. He got a shave. And he's a little pissed off at me. And so, to be fair, I decided that it was time for me to also shave. But in case you are missing out on the beard, there it is. What do you think? And everybody says I look like I dropped a few years by shaving. That's fine. Buffalo Trace and Four Roses I have had. God, there's almost not... Realistically, there's almost no such thing as a bourbon I haven't tried. When I have a job and I do traveling, I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to find bourbon. And lots of bourbon all over the place, and I'm going to drink it. Safely. One glass at a time. But, you know. And I have found some completely awesome places to drink bourbon. Some places that specialize in it. Including a certain hotel down there in McAllen. I bet you they have bottles upon bottles of stuff that they started stocking because I used to show up about once a month down to McAllen. And every time I would stay there, because it was a hell of a long drive, I would go down to the bar that was there in the hotel and get a glass, 2 to 3 fingers, depending. And I would take it back up to my room and I would finish off my paperwork. And then if it was still early enough, I would go eat and come back, and I would get another 2 or 3 fingers, and I would sit out on their balcony and smoke a cigar. Great place. Casa de Palmas in McAllen. You can look it up online if you feel like it. If you ever happen to be traveling in that part of Texas, I highly suggest staying there. It was a wonderful hotel. I don't know the cost because the company kept paying for it. The guy going 60 down my 20-mile-an-hour street is probably going to have a talk with me. Kathy, that is wrong. You can beat a good bourbon. The best way to beat a good bourbon is to beat it by making the price tag free. You cannot beat a good free bourbon. in my opinion, there's no way to beat a good free bourbon. Of course, finding bourbon for free is a little difficult. Howdy, Paul. Glad to see you in today. Sorry, I almost missed you being there. The wrench moved a little bit, and I was like, someone's turning tools. Oh, but very good to see you. Oh yeah, so if you ever find free bourbon, get as much of it as you can, because you ain't gonna find it very often. When I traveled down to McAllen, and I'm gonna tell you the bourbon that I purchased on my money. I didn't expense check that. There was one time I got held up because the place I was supposed to inspect needed to have an extra day to finish cleaning out the boiler. When I got there, the boiler had just barely been cracked open. And if they wanted me to not pass their boiler, I was, I said, so, hey, it's Friday. It's Friday evening. What time do you want me back tomorrow? They said sometime after noon. Well, noon checkout. So I was like, cool, not a problem. I'll check out at noon from my hotel and I'll come back over. So I went to the hotel 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Nothing to do. So I went and had a meal. Came back. Drank bourbon, smoked a cigar. About 8 o'clock at night, I went and had another light meal. Came back, smoked another cigar with another bourbon. Finished that, went and had another bourbon. By the end of the evening, my tab for bourbon was a little over $100. It's not really a lot of bourbon, but I paid for it myself. All right, so yes, prayers for Skip. Any of y'all who've got a good in with the man upstairs, y'all go ahead and give him the what for and the 411 about Skip traveling all the way across Texas. It's a mighty big place. Alert, eyes on the road, no tickets. That's what we're hoping for. And then, of course, the 6 hours he's going to be doing tomorrow. Which means he'll probably be seeing Steph, let's call it lunchtime. Yeah, probably lunchtime. And I am betting that there is nobody who is looking forward to Skip being home more than Skip. Oh yeah, Steph's looking forward to Skip being home. But Skip wants to be home more than Steph wants Skip to be home. Think about it. He went to Alaska. Tried to fly home, got stuck in Dallas. Finally got to fly home to a home that's not actually even home anymore. So he got to pack so that he can move everything. Oh yeah. So there it is. Just ordered a new humidor this morning. Okay, Steve. Look for Boveda packs. And you want them as close to like 90% humidity. Okay, you want the highest humidity Boveda packs as you can find. And what you want to do is you want to open each one of those up and put it in the humidor for 2 weeks, sealed, closed. And you want 1 pack per every 20 cigars that humidor can hold. Now this is called seasoning. What you're going to do is you're going to let those Boveda packs literally give off everything they have. After 2 weeks, when you open it, those Boveda packs will be pretty dry and fairly crispy. Take them and either regenerate them, but they're useless for most everything, or throw them out. You can store them if you want to, but trust me, you'll want fresh ones by the time you get around to getting another humidor. Now you do that so that when you put new fresh cigars into that new fresh humidor, it doesn't just dry the cigars out to crispiness within the first 10 seconds. Trust me on this one. They all have to be seasoned, and this is the easiest process. 2 weeks with the highest Boveda packs you've ever heard of. Like I said, it's like 90%. Right around 90%. If you can find some 100% Boveda packs, get those, sure. But 2 weeks. That way, all the wood on the inside has absorbed all the moisture that it can possibly absorb. And then you put some 69% Boveda packs in there. If you're using the big packs, remember that covers 20 cigars per pack. If you're using the small ones, that's good for 5 cigars per pack. So it's pretty easy math one way or the other. I suggest always using the bigger packs because they last longer. It's the only reason. Okay, sorry. Every time I see anybody talking about getting a new humidor, I want to always give them a refresher course on how to properly season this, because an unseasoned humidor will ruin cigars faster than anything else on the planet. Howdy, Greg. Great to see you there. Yes, Greg, not a problem there. Being that I used to sell humidors and lighters and cigars and very little pipe tobacco, but some, I try like crazy to pass that information on to anybody who wants to listen. You don't have to have me there to hold your hand, I know that, but if any of this is something that you've forgotten about, oh damn, I forgot, there's still time to correct it before it destroys your stuff. And with the expense that cigars are, even cheap cigars are expensive when you consider pound per pound what you're getting and how many uses you get out of it. I mean, if you look at a pound of pipe tobacco, I'll just use Sutliff, okay? Bottom end stuff, right? Let's go $35 a pound delivered right to my mailbox. Maybe it's more expensive where you live, maybe it's not, but that's just one of those things. Now let's talk about, well, let's call it Drew Estates Factory Smokes. Okay, a bundle. You can get them on a regular for about 50 bucks. 25 sticks for 50 bucks. You get 25 smokes out of a bundle for 50 bucks. Which, if you smoke one a day, that doesn't even last a whole month. You can smoke 3 bowls a day, good sized bowls, out of a pound worth of Sutliff tobacco, and it'll last you almost the whole entire month. 35 lasts a whole month. 50 lasts 25 days. Let me see which one's cheaper. So, like I said, even cheap cigars, I didn't say they're not good. I just said cheap. Inexpensive. It's still more expensive than decent but cheap pipe tobacco. Okay, not a problem there, Steve. Yeah, you'll still want to at least wet them down with the glycol solution, that if you can get that, because even the drawers and the shelves will start to absorb moisture, and it's going to take a while to get that humidor up to it, the exact specs. Even with your electronic everything going, it's going to take some daily work. Yeah, I wish that wasn't true. The only humidor I've seen that does not do that and is actually a quote-unquote humidor, Boveda makes a it's a plastic. It's a thick-walled, clear plastic humidor, and it's got spaces to put your Boveda packs so that it's out of the way. You would think, I mean, hey, Boveda makes it. Why not make it so that it has space to put the Boveda packs? It's actually very nice. But it's the only humidor I know of that is a humidor that is ready to go right out of the box. Though a 1 gallon glass jar at Walmart with a good seal is just as effective as that. And in a pinch, you can always use the freezer bags of Walmart. Remember, if you're ever going to store cigars in a Ziploc type bag, use the freezer ones, because the plastic is thicker, and the thicker plastic is going to hold the humidity better one side from the other. Just saying. Really, they want you to use 6 of the 75s. Good Lord. All right, well, the 75s are a bit wet for what you really want for a for any kind of a humidor. I'm not trying to tell you that they're wrong, but that still keeps it just a little bit wet. So if you're trying to use the 75s later as a way to continue to look at your cigars and keep them humidified correctly, the 75s are a bit too much. Let's see here. Boveda Boveda packs. Alright. let's see. Trying to find the exact. There's the button for store. Just looking this up real quick for you. Let me make sure. Oh, in case anybody wanted to know, Boveda actually started off in the cannabis industry. And after they figured out that cannabis worked well, then they started moving into every other industry that they could get into. And 72. Oh, okay. You got the Boveda one-step hydrometer calibration kit, probably. I understand. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that will work. Boveda for seasoning humidors. There's a 84 pack there. That's what I would go with if I don't see anything more than that. Okay, so yeah, there's an 84 pack. The 84, it's listed on Boveda.com. Actually, it's yeah, if you Google Boveda, it'll come up, and then you scroll down until you find the Boveda seasoning for humidors. It says 84%. The reason I would use the 84% over the 75 is just because I know that when those are dry, the wood has absorbed everything that it possibly can. But yeah, 75 will season it. It seasons it a little slower. It'll get there eventually, though. So, I mean, yeah, it's fine. By the way, because of the time, bowl call. What are you smoking, and what are you smoking it in? This, my friends, is that beautiful pipe that Briar Blues sent me. It is a Jonas, handmade in Italy, flame grain, beautiful pipe. God, love this thing. I'm trying to smoke it a little bit less than once a week, because I want it to last for a long, long time, and I'm going to do my best to take really good care of this. And in it, I am smoking Sutliff Match 20, because that's what I'm working on for right now. MB Navy Flake and the 7LA 320 for Boris. All right, Steve's rolling with a Factory Smokes Maduro right now. Awesome job. Big Country Briar wants to know what's up, guys and gal. Be careful, Miss Kathy's here too, and so is Steph. So there's gals. That's a twofer, and possibly Sharon is here as well. So thank you, Paul. I appreciate that sentiment. I understand completely that the War Department at present has decided that American people in uniform pretty much just don't matter at all. That's just my opinion, but it's despicable what they've done. And here, we've been fighting a war against the Taliban for 10 years, 10 plus years. Now, let's just give them information about who all we're trying to get home. Here, let these people through. These are their names and their pictures. Huh? What? You're going to do what? So when those people got shot and bombed and various different other things, yeah, it makes all kind of sense that there it is. We just threw those lives away for no gain at all. Not even close to a gain. It's horrible. All right, Big Country Briar just finished some crooner in a Savinelli. Sounds wonderful, really. I hope that word is supposed to be down and not dawn, because if you're laying dawn and Skip finds out, I'm a dead man. Even worse is if Holly believes you. Skip would have to search every bayou down here just to figure out where the pieces ended up. Alligators love fresh meat, just saying. No problem, Steph. Just be careful, be calm, it's fine. Paul, I don't mind if people cuss on this channel. It's when they're trying to get you to do stupid stuff. I just want to get those people and like say, all right, there you go, bye. There, just wipe the screen from them and drop them off on, you know. When they hit rock bottom, maybe they'll understand. I'm too old to give a crap about them anymore. But if they really, really want a good surprise, they can always show up in Houston at my house. They'll find more than they're wanting to figure out, because I guarantee they're keyboard commandoing it. They ain't going to go full fisticuffs right here in front of you. And I'll turn the camera just so you can see what really happens. Of course, the video will probably get dragged out from every possible place, so somebody is going to have to record it and repost it on a regular basis, because chances are I'm going to prison if that happens. It could just be that I'm meaner than they are and they don't realize it yet, but just saying. Oh yes, Boris, Steph's not lying. When it rains in Houston for about 40 minutes, if the sun hasn't gone down yet, 40 minutes, it will cool off. And then as the sun comes back out, it will just heat up and get steamy. Ugh. But for that brief 40 minutes, it's so nice. Of course, you would still be going, oh my God, it's hot. Yeah, it's so wonderful when it rains. Of course, we have this thing called rain. Most people see what we call rain for the first time, and the first words out of their mouth is, oh my God, what is this? Houston rain is unbelievable. It is this pounding deluge of water that, short of being in a monsoon in some other place, is just almost impossible to believe. Of course, I say Houston rain. Anything along the Gulf Coast really gets that same rain, as long as they are from about Houston going back towards Florida. going south of Houston, they really do not get as much rain as all that. It tends to stay a lot drier down that direction. Uh-oh. Steve and Kathy are needing to have a sub fill in for their live broadcast, which is 1 o'clock Central Time. I'm not sure where most of y'all will be. Steve, I would love to say yes, but I can't guarantee I'm going to actually be available in any way, shape, or form for that. And when Holly says jump, I just keep asking if I'm high enough on the way up. I don't try to come back down until she says, yeah, that's high enough. Has to do with me not having a job and her having a job. I do what she says, and that's just the way that it is. Of course, the other side of it is when I have a job and she doesn't, then she does whatever the damn well wants to, and that's just the way it is, and too bad for me. Comes down to I leave her alone when she doesn't have a job. She'll get another job if she wants to. As long as I've got one, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing another fill in from Aromatics. They do a pretty good job of that. Not saying that that's who you have to do, but howdy, Mike. Great to have you here, sir. And thank you, sir. In case y'all are wondering, yes, Mike sent this to me. Goodness of his heart and all that. I think it's because he wants me to feel bad about my own self. Those sneaky Canadians. Oh yeah, Steve, that's exactly how that works. Mike, who is a 3-time experienced person there, I would say he knows better than I do, but yeah. What is it? Happy wife owns everything? Not necessarily a happy life. You might be dead. That's the only way to keep her happy. No, not true. That's not true. There really is no way to keep a woman happy. I'm convinced of that. That's happy women are myths. And around me, unhappy women, yeah, those are like dime a dozen. Fired up a Toscano. Nice. I agree, Mike. Marriage is a fine institution if you enjoy living in an institution. One of my friends here in the Houston area, his theory is marriage is your way of telling a girl, woman, this stuff is so good, we need to get the government involved. Technically, he's correct. It is not my fault that he is correct. There's the Briar Blues channel. By the way, Mike opened up 29 from the UK today. What did you do? Me, I took a cat to get shaved. Doesn't he look miserable? He got the lion cut. I couldn't get him to curl his tail to keep it in the picture, so that was the best I could do. So if y'all watching the news later and see that I'm on it with my throat slashed, it's probably because my cat decided to kill me. Even though I shaved to be in solidarity with him. He might kill me. I think he'll actually be happier once he figures out that the hair that we couldn't get around to combing because he wouldn't let me is not matted, and therefore it's not pulling, and he's not going to be as gripey, and there's less fleas also, which is nice. He is an indoor-outdoor cat. Yeah, he's neutered. Howdy, Chad. Yeah. With 3 male cats in the same house, best to go ahead and have that done, because 2 of them are older and 1 being young, and if they're not all neutered, then the one that's getting the testosterone tends to be the most aggressive. He's the most aggressive already. So yeah, that was like in the first 5 days. Poor guy. Where was the solidarity then? Well, I can't guarantee he didn't have children before he got here. I did. I haven't had one since, so there's your solidarity. Gotcha, Chad. Gotcha. Don't try to pull the wool there. No, I'm sure if he did know how to use an iron skillet, I would have to be worried. Howdy, Ron. Ron, hard crackers. Hard crackers? Yes, hard crackers. Yes. Careful, because he might have taken a crap in my shoes. Well, that's why during the summertime I wear sandals and I put the other shoes in the closet. Don't worry, it gets cold enough for me to stop wearing sandals all 3 days of the year. I'll put some boots or shoes on that are thick and not so breathable. And then I'll end up spraying down with athlete's foot for a month. But yeah, I work with it best I can. What? My feet sweat. If I'm not wearing ultra breathable shoes in Houston, I might as well just go ahead and find some cheese and stick it in my shoes, because it's going to do the same exact thing. It's just going to mold up. I ain't afraid of mentioning these things. It's just the truth about life. My life ain't the greatest, but I sometimes have pretty good fun with it. Hey. I will actually say I'm living a great life. Honestly, it's great. It's awesome. Mike is saying he's about to go, so I'm firing up the little YouTube video screen over here so I can make sure to get us all over there once he comes on for certain. Because why else would I be wearing a Briar Blues cap, smoking a Briar Blues pipe? The only thing I could do to be more Briar Bluesies is to dye my hair completely white, grow a great mustache, learn to say garage, and, well, I'd have to be a lot better looking. And Canadian. But, so being that I'm not, I just do what I can. Not a problem, Steve. You take care. Be safe. Do what you're doing, but do it carefully. We don't need another falling out of a tree incident. And there's been enough broken hips in your family right now to last for the rest of this decade. So, just be careful, sir. We definitely want you to be around for a long time. Mostly because we like you. Most of us like you better than they like me, so... I guess people like me pretty good. Except for Chad. He asked me how come I didn't get my bits snipped in solidarity with my cat. Come on. Come on, man. Though I did get an email about Biden care today. Any bill that is passed that forces an American to buy a product that they want or don't want, can afford or not, or it fines them, and it's only because they're Americans that they are forced to purchase a product, is actually unconstitutional. Not a problem, Chad. I like it. It's good. You keep me thinking, on my toes. That's good. I'm good with it. I don't have a problem with the fact that I sometimes say stuff that I need to go back and further explain. Uh-oh! Looks as if Mike, his opening music is coming. So, here we go. We're out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves and each other. Do the best you can on that. And remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. See you on Mike's channel here in just a second. We can say hello there, and don't worry about saying goodbye tonight. Adios, amigos.